everybody, I am Sal, and this is Sal Says What. Good comics, everyone. For today's Sal Says What, I'd like to offer you my top 5 comic book conventions that are a must-visit every year. If you like to go to cons like I do, these are your shows that you should probably be searching out. For number 5, I selected PAX, the Penny Arcade Expo. I wanted to say PAX was still a new show for me, but this April will mark the 3rd PAX event that I have actually attended. We've never formally covered the show as press agents, and I think it has a lot to do with the overwhelming nature of the expo itself. It's not exactly the type of convention that we'd sort of cover, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm really the one equipped to call the shots on that particular show. But this will be our 3rd time attending, and I'm hopeful that we might nab a day or two to really give the show the time and the attention that it deserves. Maybe Tiffany might be interested in taking point on that one. Number 4, the Garden State Comic Fest. The Garden State Comic Fest had its first show ever this past January, and we were lucky enough to not just attend, but cover it as well. The show was great, the exhibitors were fantastic, and the showrunners were professional and hospitable. It has all the makings of a very successful show that could break out of its local status and enter into the larger leagues. I'm very hopeful for that show, and we will see you at that show this August 23rd. Number 3 is Kineticon, or Kineticon, depending on who you ask. While it is 10 years old, our first time attending was just this past year. It marked our first convention in Connecticut, and the first time we got Ben as an official correspondent. For those reasons alone, it belongs on this list. But let me be honest here, the show itself is a lot of fun. Cosplayers galore, yes, but there were a great amount of diverse attractions to make this a must-go for 2014. Again, incredibly attentive and welcoming showrunners that treated Little House Online with respect and dignity, something that I'm not really sure we even possess. Number 2, and this was a toughie, was New York Comic-Con. A big part of my comic convention life is, and always shall be, New York Comic-Con. My very first New York Comic-Con was also the very first comic book convention I've ever attended, so there's some real sentimental attachment there. It was the first Comic-Con to give us press status and embolden us to give the whole coverage thing a try. The show has grown exponentially over the years to the point of rivaling San Diego in good ways and bad, but there's always a real sense that the show still has its roots in comics and in the culture. I love this show, despite our differences in recent years, and I will always attend as long as I am able. And finally, our number 1 comic book convention on this list is Baltimore ComicCon. Baltimore ComicCon is straight up a friend of the site. Incredible staff, helpful support, friendly attendees, and a star-studded who's who of comics make this one of my all-time favorite shows and a must-not-miss. We stay in the hotel, we hit the town, we dine out, we talk to the movers and shakers of the industry, and it's always been a blast. I look forward to Baltimore every single year, and I make sure I do not miss a show. And if I have to miss a show, I'll send somebody that is able and willing to cover that show to the fullest extent that we can. Honorable mention goes out to the Wizard World shows over the years, including PhillyCon and the Big Apple Con. They may be bare bones and cookie cutter, but you can't discount the talent that comes to these shows and the ways they've made improvements over the years. I hope Big Apple Con comes back, and I'd love to give Philly a real Little House coverage someday. So how about you guys? What's your favorite comic book convention? Did you see it here in this list? Let me know in the comment section below this video. If you liked watching us, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and of course stop on by littlehouseonline.com for everything in between. Thanks a lot for watching, and of course watch here for the last video in this sequence.